Hi folks, I'm back this time with a quick talk on some lighting if the power goes out. So first option, of course, the easiest go-to is candles. But if you don't want to have a bunch of candles hanging around just waiting to be used, then the other option is to make your own. You can buy a bag of wax flakes, wicks, and make your own candles, pretty much out of any kind of container. Using soup container, little double wick down there for extra lighting, punch holes in it with a can opener, and you've got yourself a little lantern. Same thing with tuna container. Again, melting the wax using a double boiler method type of thing. Wick in the middle of it. Once it dries, cools off, there you go. Another couple options is making little oil lanterns. Two different methods here. We have olive oil and canola oil. The wick is nothing but a cotton yarn. Did two different tests here because I want to see if the oil and or the wick made a difference as the way it was made. So the cotton yarn for the olive oil is doubled over just using a very simple twist method. This one, if you're used to, you know how to make cordage, I use the reverse twist on this, so the wick is a lot tighter. So you just need to have a piece of wire suspending the wick just above the oil. And as you can see, they both, both throw off a good amount of light. And you're better off. I have a very stiff wire here, so I basically more have to keep the oil level higher. But if you have a much more flexible wire, as the oil level goes down, you can just keep lowering the wick instead of having to refill the oil line. But I have to tell you, when I was practicing this one, the olive oil one burned probably for about 2.5 to 3 hours. And the oil line went down maybe 1/4 to 1/3 of an inch. That's it. So these things burn for a really, really long time. I was actually very impressed with those. Let's see, one last option. I'm going to show it to you here, but I have to demo it in the other room. Is this monstrosity. So there's a lot of different channels out there that show how to make these. The channel I saw this on is called King of Random, so just throwing credit there, it's a little time consuming because you have to cut the cardboard. It's just corrugated cardboard. You start off with some long strands in the middle, wrap the corrugated cardboard strips around it until you fill up the can, and then you melt wax and then pour it all over. So this is not for indoor use. It's very smoky, but I want to show you, just how well it works. So let me move over to the fireplace and give it a go. Hold on. All right, so here it is. It does take a little bit of time to get going. If you saw my other videos on the fire starters, it's almost in that kind of category because it's wax dipped cardboard. So it does take a little bit to get going. But it will go. All right, there's a piece starting to go now. So once it does get going, the whole thing will actually start to burn. The video I saw, you put it on a table outside, put some stones around it to dress it up a little bit, and you have a cool little makeshift lantern, torch, mini bonfire right there in the middle of your table. This also does have a pretty good burn time. If I remember, this thing will last maybe about an hour. Of course, if you make them in bigger cans, they will burn longer. So again, I don't think you can see it on there, but this thing does get a little bit smoky, especially when the entire surface starts to burn. So again, this is not recommended for indoors at all. If you don't have a fireplace, or if you don't have a fire in your fireplace, then do it there, just if you want some lighting. That's starting to go better. And once the surface picks up, then it really does throw off quite a bit of light. All right, well, you get the idea. So back in the other room. So the nice thing is you can smother the fire and use that again later on. But as you can see, all these things are burning away quite well, giving off, you know, light just like a candle. Olive oil, canola oil, cotton yarn for a wick. And there you go. Well, I hope you have found this interesting. Please remember to subscribe to my channel. Thanks. Bye.